In the vast expanse of the multiverse, a formidable entity strikes fear into every dimension. Convinced of his own superiority, he sees all alternative versions of himself as mere imitations, declaring himself the ultimate being. In his home realm, he reigns unchallenged, crushing opponents beneath his rule. However, a lone warrior, having vanquished the mighty Lord Zedd, now becomes the target of this perfection-obsessed tyrant, seeking to eliminate the only force that threatened his supreme rule. Power Rangers Dimension Jumping, Chapter 2, The Zedd and the Wizard. A dimensional portal cracked open, revealing a vibrant green landscape. Emerging from the portal was none other than Mark, the valiant Red Cornish Ranger. At last, a landing that's not too rough, Mark exclaimed, taking a moment to survey the familiar field. Mark consulted his trusty dimension jumper, which doubled as a scanning device. Frustration crept in as Mark discovered a disheartening truth. She's not here. She's been through, though. But, damn it. Without warning, the sky transformed from clear to tumultuous chaos. Thunder rumbled, and lightning struck the ground nearby, triggering Mark's instinct to reach for his morpher. In an instant, he morphed into his heroic form, just as a mysterious cloaked figure approached him. Stretching out his arm, the figure summoned yet another flash of lightning, summoning a long silver staff with a distinct Z-shaped emblem on top. What in the world is this? Mark questioned, bewildered by the sight before him.
The Cornish Ranger. I finally caught up with you after all this time,
declared the figure. And who might you be? Mark inquired, curiously perplexed. With a dramatic flourish, the figure lowered his hood, revealing a menacing metal mask. His exposed brain was adorned with a prominent Zedd, while his red lenses concealed his eyes.
I am Lord Zedd, ruler of the Dark Realm. You foiled your plans many years ago in my past,
Lord Zedd proclaimed. Apologies, but I think you've got the wrong guy. What was it, Ed? Mark responded, trying to reason with the imposing figure.
It's Zedd. Z-E-D-D. Remember it well, Cornish Ranger. Though the events may belong to my past, they were, or will be, your future. But I will put an end to you now,
Lord Zedd declared. Not today. Black Ranger, Power Axe! Mark shouted, pressing his morpher. In a blast of energy, the mighty black Power Axe materialized in his hands. Mark swiftly struck the ground, sending dust and smoke billowing into the air, granting him a chance to escape.
Curse you, Cornish Ranger!
Lord Zedd bellowed, his frustration echoing through the field. Mark powered down and sought refuge in a nearby bush. Moments later, Lord Zedd vanished into thin air. Taking advantage of the camouflage provided by the foliage, Mark stealthily moved away from the field, determined to continue his mission. Mark climbed up the hill. His eyes widened as he discovered a circle of massive rocks. "Stonehenge!" he exclaimed, his excitement building. In his home universe, Stonehenge concealed the base of the Royal Britannia Rangers and served as a nexus point to the magical world. Approaching the circular stones, he noticed a hidden switch nestled in a small hole. This world must have its own Royal Britannia Rangers, or at least a Merlin, he speculated. Suddenly the door materialized within one of the rocks. Mark bravely entered, finding himself in a large room full of computer consoles. In one corner, a cracked mirror caught his attention. Unlike the mirror he once used to aid him in the battle against Morgan Le Fay's forces, this one remained lifeless and non-reflective. "It seems abandoned," Mark observed curiously, venturing deeper into the cave, reminiscing about the times he and his team would relax in this very room. Inside the chamber, he discovered a large tube containing a figure. "Merlin? He must be in some kind of stasis," Mark exclaimed. Curiosity compelled him to inspect the nearby computer. It looks like he fell into a deep sleep, or perhaps someone intentionally deactivated him. Although there's still a trace of life. The activation was halted about 10 years ago. Maybe waking him up will provide some answers, especially regarding that Ed guy, said Mark, determined to seek Merlin's advice. Using the computer, Mark started the process of waking Merlin. Within moments, the legendary sorcerer sat up, locked eyes with Mark. "Greetings, Mark," Merlin greeted warmly. Surprised, Mark asked, "How do you know who I am?" Your Merlin never told you, did he? That's the consequences of existing across different dimensions, Merlin chuckled. Confused, Mark inquired, "Sorry, what? Tell me what?" "Come, let's have a chat while I make us some tea. Oh, wait, my apologies. Coffee for you," Merlin offered, guiding Mark to a nearby table. As they sat down, Merlin began to explain how he knew Mark. You see, Merlins possess this unique ability to perceive the actions of their counterparts in different dimensions. "Ah, I see. So you all communicate with each other?" Mark asked, seeking clarification. "In a way. Did you ever witness your counterpart from Universe 20 talking or muttering in front of a mirror?" Merlin inquired. "Now that you mention it, I did see him do that. I thought he was merely talking to himself," said Mark. "In reality, he was conversing with himself in a different dimension," Merlin clarified. Curious, Mark pressed on. "Why are you different from him? He was quite secretive, but you seem more open." "Well, it all comes down to the different paths we've taken in our respective dimensions," Merlin explained. "Okay, got it. So, next question," Mark began, but Merlin interrupted him. "Morgan. She returned before I awoken, sabotaged my sleep chamber, and seized control of the UK and half of the magical world." "Well, that's not what I was going to ask, but it's important. What about that Zedd guy?" Mark inquired, his head starting to throb from the information overload. "Ah, him. You'll cross paths with him in the future, but it will be in his past," Merlin declared. "My head is spinning now. So, if you weren't awoken when Morgan returned, does that mean there's no Royal Britannia Rangers or Cornish Ranger?" said Mark. "No, but I possess the PowerPoints, and you know who they belong to," Merlin replied, raising his eyebrow. Mark mirrored his expression, Shouldn't you also know them, or at least your counterparts in other dimensions? All right, let's not waste any more time. It's time to go, Merlin declared. In the mighty halls of Buckingham Palace, Morgan Le Fay sat upon her majestic throne as a shadowy figure emerged and approached her.
Morgan Le Fay, queen of this dimension, allow me to introduce myself,
proclaimed the dark figure. I am well aware of who you are, Lord Zedd, and by mentioning this dimension, it is clear that you hail from another world, Morgana replied with a massive grin.
Yes, just like countless dimensions before, the Zedd of this realm met his demise. Thus I am the Lord Zedd, the one and only,
declared Zedd with a hint of arrogance. Ah, so you are he. Tell me, what brings you to my domain? Morgana inquired, her voice laced with curiosity.
A ranger who wronged me now resides in your dimension, and if I'm not mistaken, a Merlin from this world has gathered him and others to stand against you.
So, you seek a mutual exchange of assistance, Morgana mused, her eyes gleaming with intrigue. Middlesex, in the southeast of England, Mark and Merlin appeared on a street corner. The place looked nothing like Mark's universe. Buildings were in ruins. This place, said Mark. Morgana ruins everything she touches. Come, we need to find Artie, now. In my universe, his house was down there, said Mark as they headed down the street. Listen, Mark, there are universes out there where your team... Suddenly, an explosion knocked them off their feet. Lord Zedd, accompanied by a massive armoured knight, approached them.
Time to end you, Cornish ranger.
Mark and Merlin quickly got to their feet, and Mark grabbed his morpher. Merlin, go, find Artie and get him to safety. I'll deal with these jokers. Right, Merlin replied and headed off. Come on, Ed. I don't even know what I did or will do. And is that Chrome Dome Mordred? Good to see you too. The knight removed his helmet, revealing Mordred. However, this Mordred had a different appearance from the battle-hardened one Mark knew from Universe 20. This Mordred had thick blonde hair and was handsome. Well, you're... okay, that's different. Well, it's time. It's morphin' time! Colonel Bisficken! As the energy surged around Mark, a red suit appeared and his morpher found its place on his belt. A gold shield materialized with the Cornish crest at its heart. A sleek black helmet with a white cross for a visor appeared on his head. Okay, you two, let's go. Red Ranger, power sword! They charged at each other, their swords clashing. Meanwhile, Merlin approached the house and found a scared man hiding in the corner. Please, don't hurt me, Artie pleaded. I'm not here to hurt you. this is going to take too long. Hang on. Merlin placed his hand on Artie's head, and a series of flashes ran through Artie's mind. Visions of a confident and fearless person, a leader, and a Power Ranger. Whoa, what just happened? What was that? Artie asked, getting up. I shared a little of my power with you, just enough for you to see one version of yourself. Any more and your mind would explode. Take this and go help Mark. You know what to do. Artie nodded and headed out. Back at the battle, Mordred and Lord Zedd were gaining the upper hand, pushing Mark back and even breaking his sword.
Now, Cornish Ranger, this is the end.
Zedd declared, raising his staff to strike. "Go, go, Royal Britannia!" A shout echoed, and in a flash of red energy, Artie leapt over Mark with a powerful slash of his sword. He broke Zedd's staff in half.
"No! How dare you!"
Zedd shouted, holding a snake that curled around his arms.
"Mordred, you blonde fool! Do something!"
With a surge of energy, Mark reassembled his sword. And sent Mordred flying. "Thanks, Artie. Good to see you." "Yeah, good to see you. Sam, my head. Merlin was right," Artie replied.
"Next time, Rangers."
Zedd and Mordred vanished. In the depths of Merlin's cave, Mark revealed the tales of his extraordinary universe to Artie. "Your Artie is truly a remarkable individual. I hope I can live up to his legend," said Artie. "Don't worry, you'll do fine. Merlin, are you okay to locate the others?" "Yes, we shall prevail," replied Merlin. "And if any trouble arises, just communicate with yourself in Universe 20, and he will relay the message to me," said Mark. "Indeed, that's the plan," Merlin affirmed. As he shook Mark's hand, Mark turned and opened a portal. "May luck be on your side, Mark," Artie wished him, offering his support. Mark nodded appreciatively and stepped through the portal, which closed behind him. "All right, Merlin, who's our next target?" Artie inquired, fixing his gaze upon the wise sorcerer. "Well, my friend, I believe our path leads us to the southwest, to an old sanctuary of mine. There we shall unearth a mysterious stone," Merlin declared. Guest starring in today's episode was Ty Tiger as the Lord Zedd,